Good afternoon, good morning, or good evening, and welcome to the Blurring the Lines podcast. This is episode 185, and I am your host, Peter Nikolaidis. Joining me, as always, is my co-host, Adam Bell.
How you doing, Peter?
Pretty good. I don't know why I felt serious all of a sudden. I did a very
Yeah.
serious style of intro. So yeah.
Yeah. I don't think we have any serious content for today.
Good. Well, then we've gotten that all out of my system. We're
It's
good.
all out.
Now we can have fun.
Cool. So
Ah.
I heard that the weather may be brisk up there. Brisk, brusque.
Crappy is what the weather is up here. Oh man, it is nasty. It is windy and blustery and just yuck.
Doesn't this storm have a name?
I don't know. If it is, I haven't named it, so I don't know. Look, you son of a anyway. Um, yeah, I don't know if it's got a name, but what I am happy to report is that it's not as cold as it is up in Vermont right now. Up in Vermont, it's pretty cold. And I am planning on driving up to see my folks for Christmas, and it's supposed to be like a high of 22 that day.
Yeah.
My Tesla just loves the cold weather.
It's good for the
So
batteries.
it's great. It's great. Just get the range is phenomenal. So
Yeah, it's 8 degrees here, according to my weather app.
great.
It is sunny, so the roads are kind of melting a little bit. I mean, we went out to dinner last night, and it when we went in, it was like 40 something. We came out, it was like 17 something. Yeah.
That's a big shift.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we had from the afternoon at like 4 to 9, we changed 50 degrees. I don't
Yeah,
know what.
that's a big shift.
Yeah.
I mean, I was going through that this summer. I like wake up in the morning and it starts like, it's only 50 degrees, and then noontime comes around, it's 95. I was like, oh
Yeah.
ay, ay, ay.
So I guess though it's not anything concerning for you. You're used to the cold weather and cold snaps. I mean, this is just
Yeah, I mean, I don't like it, and I don't like the change, and it's just like yeah, it used to get cold, but not this dramatically cold, this dramatically quickly.
mhm. Yeah.
Ugh.
See, the good thing is for me, this is just a snap, and then we'll go back to 40s, 50s, 60s for the rest of our winter, off and on, any one of those.
Grr.
Yeah. Well, we'll certainly have 2 weeks where it's in the 30s this winter. Not
Oh,
together, but
oh, not together, right? Yeah,
cumulative.
14 days if you average them all out.
Yeah. Oh, so are you finishing out the year or fiscally?
Yeah, I'm actually, what I'm trying to do is I'm finishing up with some proposals and some last minute email migrations, and some security assessments and stuff for
Mm-hmm.
some clients. And that's about it. Everything else is pretty slow.
Mm-hmm.
Been working some incidents because the hackers love to get active during the holiday season because
They
they know
do.
that everyone's going away.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I got some nice renewals on some services, and put together a couple of, hopefully, lucrative projects that will be good for the end users as well. Win-win situations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I find so this time of year it's good for me for just figuring out my books, because there's every once in a while you classify something as wrong,
Mm-hmm.
and you could start looking at the numbers and saying, well, that doesn't make any sense. And then you
Mm-hmm.
dig a little and you're like, oh, yeah, this was categorized wrong, and just
Yep.
moving it around, just cleaning up. And the only way to do that is with time. I mean, just having some free time to review. I mean, you can't just review under stress and on the, yeah, you got to review in 15, 20 minutes. That's all you got.
Yeah. Yeah. Your accountant's on the phone. He wants to file your return this afternoon. So go.
Go. Yeah. So I've gotten to work through that, which is, working. I always find things that I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot I paid for this and got to get that in there. And so that's good.
Yeah.
And I paid my last payment to the Tennessee Department of Revenue of my 60 payment plan
Ooh. And that's been going on for some time.
for 60 months.
Ay, 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 ay.
Pretty much the whole time you've known me, I've been paying the Tennessee
Yep.
Department of Revenue.
Well, it's not been that. I've known you longer than that. But,
I think we met in 2014,
yeah.
2015, and
Yeah.
then
Somewhere in that range. Yeah.
the audit in 2016, then the bill payment in 2017
But
for.
as long as this podcast's been going on, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Is that one of your goals for 2023? You know,
Well, it is, well, it was one of my goals to finish paying them off because they were on my radar to finish. But I'm gonna 2023, one of my goals is to eliminate as much debt as possible and
okay.
not make any more acquisitions of hardware or things like that I don't need.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. So business wise, I haven't laid out any goals. But I am hopeful that a new engagement is going to result in it's going to be a rather large engagement.
Is
Um,
she a big girl?
no.
Oh.
But no, I'm in talks to do regular to be providing regular services
Oh, that
for
kind
a
of
large,
engagement.
yes,
Okay.
for a large managed services provider. And so this might be a nice a nice chunk of change, like big
Mhm.
enough that I could easily let some of the smaller fish say, sorry,
Sorry.
gonna have to let this one slide. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
So
pull out my Canadian voice and say, I'm so sorry.
so sorry. Yep. But yeah, I haven't really done any goals yet, either personal or professional.
Hmm.
I would think on the personal side that I would like to try, well, I want to run, I think I want to run 2 marathons,
Yeah.
starting with the one in April. Yep, I'm hoping starting next week to start getting back into running, slowly, return to running. Um, and then I would like to target maybe another ultra in the fall, like I did this past year.
Nice.
So yeah, maybe not the same one. I mean, the Vermont 50 was fun. I sure did enjoy that one, but I don't know. Maybe I want to run a different one because so far I have not run the same race twice.
Hmm.
So I'm thinking, maybe just keep it up and moving around. Although the Vermont 50 I would definitely like to run that one again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm despite the fact that I have not run in a month, I am pleased to say I am a 1%er.
Nice. Yeah, I saw that.
Yes, I am in the top 1% most active people on Strava. And I was kind of surprised to think, but then I got to think about it. There's probably a ton of people who sign on and never use it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how
And
big is that pool? Do you know?
I don't know how many active users of Strava there are.
Hmm.
How many active Strava users? And of course, this might not be active,
Yeah.
but not well. Strava well claims to have 95 million active users.
Active. Really?
That's what they claim.
Hmm.
Yep. 95 million users. To the question that people ask, do people still use Strava? So, yeah, I mean, wow. I didn't
Hmm.
realize I'm in the top 1% of 95. I feel like I've accomplished something. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So yeah,
I wonder if Fitbit has something like that.
I don't know.
How do I
But
check?
that sounds like that. I'm going to file that as a win for 2022. You know,
Well, heck yeah.
torn meniscus. I recovered from a stress fracture. I didn't really start using Strava until the beginning of this year too. So this is like my first full year of actually using the product,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm feeling pretty good. Wow, 95 million active users. That's amazing.
So you can call yourself an elite athlete, or at
I
least an elite
wasn't.
mover. You move.
I moved. I mean, yeah. Wow. I don't know, man. I don't know what I am, but I'm feeling pretty pumped. So yeah, there you go. Oh,
Cool.
whoa. Velo News in May, Strava hits 100 million users as number doubles in 2 years.
Hmm.
So, but they said, 100 million users, maybe 95 active, okay.
Yeah,
So anyway,
that still
yeah,
puts you, in pretty good position.
still think
So
I'm pretty good. Yeah, feeling pretty good.
congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So on that note, remember how I said I was going to try to adapt my inversion table to doing improv pull-ups,
Right?
setup. Doesn't quite work because I forgot that there's an extra bar that essentially would be positioned right where my face would be when doing the pull-ups. So
Yeah,
I'd
where
be
it
like
comes down. Yeah. Yeah.
slamming into that all the time. So that did not work.
Mm-hmm.
So the only option I have presently in my house is still using my bar stools. So I guess I will take my improv broomstick and bring it back downstairs. Unless, is there a good barbell or dumbbell alternative to pull-ups that does the same thing?
Uh, no, you can do bent over rows, but it's definitely not the same.
Not the same. Not the
Mm-mm.
same.
You could do bench rows where you're actually laying on a bench and doing rows, but once
Hmm.
again, it's not the same as pull-ups.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. They say they list kettlebell swings as an alternative. That's interesting.
I think that they may be stretching it a little bit, kind of like
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah. That doesn't seem the same to me.
yeah.
Huh. Interesting. Did you get those? I sent you, I just started with a query on PubMed doing a search for studies about push-ups.
Oh no.
And there's one of the studies that I found talks about the differences between push-ups and bench presses.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, because you and I had talked about, I had said like, like what's the equivalent bench press to push-ups and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it was interesting. I found some, we should put a link to the show notes, but there were definitely some pretty cool studies that have been done on push-ups. I was just trying to find something because as you know, I have officially disengaged from striving to do 100 push-ups per day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and what I decided to do was just do a smaller amount to see how many I could do or how few I could do and preserve the the gains, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So but it hasn't helped that I've been sick for the last several days. Not happy about that. So I just, I don't know what to do about that, but I essentially said, I'm going to not not try to kill myself or, not even try to badly strain myself with push-ups. So that maybe that's my New Year's resolution.
Well,
So,
I'm gonna keep doing them because they're not hurting me. I mean, as far as I'm not in pain. I have no reason not to.
and I don't know that. That's the thing. As you and I talk, I think we talked about this separately off the podcast, but I have been in pain. My right rotator cuff has been kind of messed up for years now, and the
Mm-hmm.
only significant upper body thing that I can attribute to that might be push-ups.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm like, I don't know. It's so I'm trying to do lower reps but better quality because I definitely was prioritizing quantity over quality for my
Mm-hmm.
push-ups. So I'm going to try to get better about that. But I'm trying to commit to like, maybe 20 per day, which should be a cakewalk compared to
Mm-hmm.
what we've been doing.
Yeah.
Um, and then I say that and I'm on like cold meds and sick and sniffling and oh, right. I just had my nose cauterized again
Again. Nice.
yesterday
Awesome.
because the first one didn't work and the doctor was like, yeah, sometimes you have to do a second job, and if that doesn't work, then we have to schedule something in the operating room. uh,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Yeah.
great, great.
So, I could, there's definitely a difference between push-ups and bench press, because when I do bench press, I take my feet completely off the ground.
Hmm.
So, I cross my legs, at the shin and my feet. So, because a long time ago, when I was early 18, when I was doing bench press, when you strain your back and you see those bench pressers who their back's not even on the bench press
Right.
anymore, arching.
Yep.
So, I kind of strained my back doing that. And I'm like, well, this is stupid. So I'm not going to do that anymore. And I'm going to guarantee that I don't do that anymore because I'm not going to put my feet on the ground. Therefore, I cannot arch my back.
Does tend to make it harder.
Yeah. So I typically do all of mine except for the max weight. I'll put my feet down for stabilization, but if I feel myself starting to push with my legs, I release my feet back down so that they're they're not getting under me.
Yep.
Um, but bench press, is completely isolated.
Yep.
It's isolated to its spot, where
Yeah.
with push up, it's more of a body. If you're doing it right, you're holding your abs tight, your
Yes.
your shoulders are over,
Hmm.
this whole section is getting a bit more workout than you do in bench press. Because on your bench press, you can probably feel back there, except when you're like really pushing, you almost feel
Right.
nothing going
Yep.
on.
Yep. Exactly.
So, but yeah,
Whew.
I wouldn't want to say that push-ups are or bench press would be a replacement for push-ups or vice versa. And so that's why, but I don't feel bad about switching them in when I'm counting my 100.
Yeah. I
Because
think
I'm like,
those are pretty darn close though, don't you think? I mean,
yeah,
those are as far as that goes, I don't think you're going to get that, you're going to I can't think of two other related exercises that are as closely related,
mm-hmm,
you know. So, yeah.
yeah, well, good, yeah. And then so like for 2023, we're recent empty nesters. I've got a list of things that's more or less just cleaning up my house, doing home improvements that I have put
Hmm.
off for a long time, getting those things done, learning some new habits. Like I mentioned, I'm learning how to bake bread, just some things that I'm like, I don't necessarily want to become a baker, but I don't know how to do this. And there's not really any reason I can't learn to do it. And I have successfully baked a loaf of bread. Now I'm gonna make some more.
Ta-da!
But it it wasn't terribly difficult. If you can read instructions and follow
Yeah.
instructions, it's not a terribly difficult thing to do, and made a decent loaf of bread.
There you go. And now you can, once you make that, once you bake the first loaf, so if you can start doing other things,
Mm-hmm.
and you can just branch out and different
Mm-hmm.
types, you start playing with sourdough, which really changes it up.
Mm-hmm.
There's all kinds of things you can do with bread. Thing you want to make sure that you keep doing though is exercising, because there's a lot of calories in bread.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I actually don't eat a lot of bread. I do eat bread every morning. I eat toast. I eat toast with peanut butter on it.
No.
Um, but that's my limit. I could do other things for breakfast to have less carbohydrates in it, less simple carbohydrates. But
Hmm.
what I was thinking I'd like to do is make like this wheat, dark wheat honey bread, um, that I'd like to make. I can get it at Kroger. I
Hmm.
know that. I can get it at Kroger for $3 and no effort.
Hmm.
But like, I want to know how to do it.
It's good to know. It's good to know how to do it,
Mm-hmm.
So it's easy. It's an easy skill. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, why not? Huh.
So yeah, cool. All right. So do you know what Flipper Zero is as a hacker? I mean, as a security officer.
Honestly, I didn't know anything about that. It just happened to come across my radar today.
Mm-hmm.
I had not heard prior to that coming across Wire today about Flipper Zero, the hacker tool blowing up on TikTok.
Yeah. By the time it hits TikTok,
How did I not know about that already? Apparently, it's a door, yeah, a device that hackers are using to, basically fake various RFID based things. They claim that you can make ATMs spit out money, unlock cars, and gas spill out of gas pumps for free. Sounds too good to be true.
yeah,
So, yeah. I have not actually read the article. I just posted that because of the conversation that, we were going on about the flipper.
the Flipper. Yeah.
Yes, which was
That's fun.
hilarious.
I did read a little bit more in that article, and it said, yeah, well, there's some of these things that you can do. It doesn't exactly match up with, the social media hype that's out there, and so it supposedly is a penetration testing tool that white hat hackers use, just like your local locksmith is a white hat locksmith. How you use the tools is
Yeah.
yeah.
Your locksmith is a white hat burglar or a thief,
Yeah.
right? Or a thief is just a black hat locksmith.
Yeah.
That's even a better way to put it, really, right? So
Yeah, just
yeah.
how you're going to use the tools. That's what I was thinking about. We had talked about on the last episode, we had talked about the Apple what's the watch keychain that rides around with you, the
AirTag.
AirTag,
Yeah.
and
It's just a white hat stalking tool.
yeah, it's a white hat stalking tool. So they and I when we talked about it, I didn't quite agree with you that Apple was doing the right thing by, not letting people do the way, it's a tool. However, people use it, that's how they use it. But I didn't quite agree with you then. But the more I thought about it, I was like, why not prevent your tool from being used for bad things? And that's all they're really doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it
Yeah.
goes against that whole American thing of don't tell me what I'm going to do with whatever. And then I'm like, well, it's the right thing to do, not to do it. I mean,
The
if
only the only question I have there is, like you said, like, will it tell a thief that you're stealing that they're stealing your bike and that they're being tracked?
yeah.
That's the part. And I haven't looked into that, but it's interesting. I'm curious about, like how that would play out.
hmm So yeah, I'm gonna I'm gonna get a couple of those tags and play with them. That'll be fun.
They're fun. I have a spare right now. I think I told you this last week. Like
hmm
I bought 3 of them and realized that I probably only need 2 at a time.
hmm
But since I'm gonna be leaving my keys with my neighbor while I'm gone, probably I'll leave the keys on there. So
Yeah.
I've had one driving around in the back of my car with a UPS pre-return label sitting around for a month,
hmm
and might just end up just taking it with me to Costa Rica.
Nice. Yeah. So I don't know if this is nifty or not. It may be a pre-nifty.
Okay.
So while I saw that app Lenza, it's a
Mm-hmm.
it's an app for photo manipulation is, I mean, but it's not so much manipulation as much as like touch up. And I have some photo studio software that I use for my portraits, what I take with my big camera, you know red spots on your skin or pimples, or you can just kind of phase those things out, and um fix crazy eyebrows or things like that. So this is kind of an app like that you could do editing on your phone. They've got some other cool things that you always want to do. Like there's a background that you, or somebody's in your background picture and you just want to take them out and things like that. So,
But what's different about Lensa from those other apps?
well, I don't know what.
It's powered by AI.
Yeah. Yeah. It's Lensa AI.
Lensa AI.
So for our listeners, what does that mean? So what's it AI do? I mean, that's artificial intelligence. What's that mean?
Freaking no. It's just no idea.
It's a complex algorithm, is what it's
Yeah,
all.
sure. Exactly. Let's go with that.
Yeah. No, so they're making assumptions. Yeah, I mean, we've talked about JPEGs before. I mean, that's what JPEGs are, is they're making assumptions based on a color pattern. Instead of it recording pixel, 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 color, 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 it's saying color is the same for 100 pixels.
There
And
you go.
compressing. So yeah, I'm assuming the AI, well, and I also read some things, or I saw something on there. They were talking about doing AI avatars. I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen an artist do the avatars, but that's another one of the things that they do on there. Supposedly, the AI is supposed to make you a nice looking avatar.
Okay. I haven't done that. But as far as AI goes, I have been playing around with Chat GPT.
And I saw that, and I wasn't tracking with you, so you're gonna have to get me up to speed.
Chat GPT. Let's see if it's working right now. We should do this. Now you record these and you record the video, don't you?
Yep.
So we should try to see if I can safely do a screen share here and see if I can if Chat GPT is open right now. Hang on. At OpenAI. So one thing I Chat GPT, it is okay, we've trained a model called Chat GPT, which interacts in a conversational way. The dialogue format makes it possible for Chat GPT to answer follow-up questions, admit its mistakes, challenge incorrect premises, and reject inappropriate requests. Chat GPT is a sibling model to Instruct GPT, which is trained to follow an instruction and prompt for a detailed response.
Okay.
Well, Chat GPT has been used for much more than that.
Mm-hmm.
And lately, what it's been doing is people have been using it to do all kinds of questions. Now, I first heard about it. A friend of mine, also in the security space, said, "Have you been playing around with Chat GPT?" And I said, "No." He said, "I had a friend who said, write me a program to do something. I forget what, to like scan all such and such and something."
Mm-hmm.
And it did. And then he replied, "What vulnerabilities exist in this code?" And it gave him back a list of the vulnerabilities that were included in it. And then he
Huh.
asked, "Would you fix those vulnerabilities?" And it gave him a revised version where the code was fixed. I also have asked it to write a poem
Mm-hmm.
about my Tuesday night Dungeons and Dragons games, which
Mm-hmm.
was pretty hilarious. I have asked it. I asked it, "Do you speak Splunk SPL, the Splunk query language or Splunk
Mm-hmm.
parsing language?" And it says, "Yes, I do." And I said, "Given index equals firewall and index equals DNS, write a search querying for this field on this index and this field in this index, joining on this common field between the two," and it
Mm-hmm.
spat out the results. And it wasn't an especially complicated query, but I always have trouble wrapping my head around Splunk join commands. It's like
Mm-hmm.
SQL join commands. And there's plenty of documentation and you can find plenty of examples, but just getting an example that actually uses my data, like my variable names and the
Mm-hmm.
names, so like not some example where all the variables name are X or X1, but I
Mm-hmm.
can say source port or username. Because when you're first learning how to program or something, like you just see a mash of words on the screen. And
Yeah.
knowing which ones are variables, which ones are statements, which ones are reserved words, which ones are, custom to your environment, it's hard to tell. So that was really cool. But I just had another thought. Let me just see. So, write an episode outline for a podcast. The hosts of the show are Adam and Peter. They like to talk about topics such as business, well, I'll say small business, fitness, CrossFit, running, yoga, and beer. Pick 3 topics relevant to current events for Adam and Peter to discuss. Also include a 4th topic known as a nifty. The nifty should be a new program, application, or piece of hardware or software that costs less than $250 and users will find interesting. All right. So I just gave those instructions to
Mm-hmm.
Chat GPT. I'm now hitting, let's see if I can share my screen. Let's see what happens. Here we go. All right. So I just punched that into Chat GPT, right? Let's hit go and see what happens. This will be interesting. All right. Introduction. Adam and Peter introduce themselves and give a brief overview of the show. Small business. Adam and Peter discuss the challenges and opportunities of starting and running a small business in today's economy. They share tips and advice for other small business owners and discuss the importance of networking and building a strong support system. Fitness. Adam and Peter talk about the benefits of CrossFit, running, and yoga, and how to incorporate these activities into a well-rounded fitness routine. They also discuss the importance of proper nutrition and how
did
to
it
stay
come up with
motivated.
that?
It's
How did it?
AI.
But we didn't talk about CrossFit, running, or yoga, and we do all 3 of those.
Well, no, I told it to put it in there. It was in
Oh,
there.
okay. That's why I was like, wait a minute, I missed that.
I mentioned those.
Okay.
Beer. Adam and Peter discuss the latest trends in craft beer and share their favorite breweries and brews. They also discuss benefits of moderation and responsible consumption.
Nice.
Conclusion. Adam and Peter wrap up the show and invite listeners to send in their own questions and topics, suggestions for future episodes.
I must try this.
That was my response. Now, here's the thing. Please elaborate on point number 2. Include specific examples and advice for small business owners.
Nice.
In point number 2, Adam and Peter discuss the challenges and opportunities of starting and running a small business in today's economy. Some specific examples they might include are the importance of identifying a unique selling proposition and differentiating your business from competitors. Tips for marketing and promoting your business, such as building a strong online presence, utilizing social media. Strategies for managing finances and keeping costs low, such as negotiating with suppliers and vendors, seeking out grants and funding opportunities. Advice for building a strong team and creating a positive work culture, such as setting clear goals and expectations and providing ongoing training and support. The importance of networking to build a strong support system, such as joining local business associations or attending industry events, and tips for staying motivated and managing stress as small business owner, such as setting aside time for self-care and seeking out mentorship or coaching.
Nice. So, I mean, we're in a rabbit, we're down deep in the rabbit hole now. So if you were to take just the contents, like my short, brief notes that I do for our show notes here, what would happen?
Yep. What do you mean take the contents? Do what with them?
My comma separated values there that I'm doing in the just the as I'm keeping going. So intro, weather storm. It's cold.
But what
Hey,
do you want me to do with them?
tell it to summarize that into something interesting.
You mean, well, you mean it's already summarized, like
Summarize,
elaborate on that?
elaborate.
Okay. So right now your notes say right now what? Intros, weather, storm, it's cold. That one? Is that what we're
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
that
now?
one.
I don't know. That's going to be, I don't know. What about if we took under the headlines Peter type below that part?
Sure.
What if we use all these? Okay. Use the following lines as show topics. Elaborate with at least one paragraph per topic below. Paragraph.
Paragraph.
So it doesn't really know what Flipper Zero is.
No.
Financial reporting and audits, analyzing business performance, the process of paying taxes at various deadlines, failing to pay
And
taxes online,
the consequences of failing to pay taxes on time.
personal professional aspirations, discuss. Yeah. Lenza, history, mission, and services. They might discuss personal experiences, etc. So it's pretty cool. Now, there are some downsides, right? Sometimes it's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently sometimes the code, the programming code that it gives also doesn't work.
Yeah.
So you know, as with anything you read on the internet, right? You have to take it all with a grain of salt.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm wondering, you know, and some of the, if you look at a lot of the text that it spits out, some of it is not all that great. You know, some of it is not, it's not very imaginative because there's no imagination.
Yeah.
But you can use it as a starting point. Like I had one write a letter to a, you know, like write a letter to a colleague who is, you know, belligerent and caustic to work with. And it explained, you know, like, you know, what I'll call him, I don't know,
Bob. Bob.
Bucky.
Bucky.
Yeah, Bob, sure. Bob, you know, Bob, you know, when you say this, it's difficult. You know, your coworkers are afraid and blah, 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 and they don't feel good. And, you know, you may feel like you're coming across strong, but it's actually disrespectful, et cetera, et cetera. It also wrote I had it write a poem again, like I said, about my bard in Dungeons and Dragons. And, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's not great stuff, but you can tell it to like rewrite this poem in the style of William Blake,
Mm-hmm.
or rewrite this poem in the style of you know, Ernest Hemingway or something like that. And it will like, okay, and it'll rewrite them. You could say, oh, I heard examples like write this, you know, a paper as if it was written by a 12-year-old junior high school student.
Ah.
And, you know, so there's a lot of potential here, right? You know, is it going to change the world? I don't know, but I I can see some practical uses of this thing pretty quickly. It's pretty neat.
What was that cheating website?
Oh, yeah. Well,
Ashley Madison or what or what was the
oh, I
name?
thought you were talking about cheating on term papers.
Oh no, that was that the name of it?
That is definitely a cheating website.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I read somewhere that somebody said that, or I read an article that was saying that those weren't like actual people.
Oh
It was
yeah.
just AI,
All bots. Right. Yes.
trying
Yes.
to get them to spend their money so that they would spend money to open chats. And I don't know. It's kind of
Yeah.
like buying
Exactly.
apps.
Exactly. Yeah. I was just thinking too, is you could use Chat GPT to write an online dating profile.
Yeah. Huh.
Oh man. So anyway, I would say Chat GPT is probably the niftier of the nifty when it comes to AI. But I hear Lensa can be pretty cool.
Yeah, I lost you.
Oh, I stopped sharing. I'm done.
I know, but I lost Zoom altogether.
Oh, but I'm talking to you still.
Yeah, we'll keep talking. I don't know how
Okay.
I don't know how I'm going to stop the recording, but
Well,
whatever.
when you're ready, just quit out of Zoom. Just kill the process.
Yeah. All right.
uh, all
There,
right.
there was something else. Something you said in there. I was going to respond, but now I can't remember what it was. So it
Oh,
must.
chat. You could ask Chat GPT.
Yeah. Chat GPT. What was I thinking? Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, cool. So well, we've got Christmas coming up. Are you ready for Christmas?
I think I am. I did not go whole hog and buy a lot in the way of gifts and stuff, but I got something for my parents, for my godson. So I'm good. I'm gonna be the plan is Tesla permitting, I'll be driving up to visit my folks and have Christmas dinner with them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much it. Nothing major for that.
So your godson, whose son is he?
So he is my best friend from elementary school, the son
Okay.
of him. Yes. Yep.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Because I know you're an only child, right?
Correct.
I mean, that was what I'm pretty sure of. So okay. Well, that would have been your nephew anyway. If
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Because so,
wouldn't have to make him my godson. It'd just be my nephew by default. So
so oh my god, the Chat GPT just it's pretty hilarious. It is pretty hilarious. I have to tell you, I'll tell you more about my latest query offline once we've stopped recording.
all right. Yeah, the weather down here is a little bit rough. I mean, there's a lot of ice. We've got a lot of ice on the road, which is not really a good thing here. And we'll see what's happening tomorrow. So we're supposed to go to my parents for Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Day we stay at home. So cool.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would prefer to stay home Christmas Day, but
Mm,
you know, it's the only way I'm going to see my folks. So, all right, fine.
yeah, yeah, and gotta spend time with family. That's good.
They
Do
say
you have
that's important.
Do you have a charger there for your car?
At my parents' house, yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
but I don't know that I'm going to get all the way there. And so we'll see because we're not meeting there. We're actually meeting about an hour south. So it's not quite halfway between the two, but between us and there. So, but yeah, I definitely but I think 2 years ago or so, or maybe it was even before COVID, I forget. I had them install a charging, basically a 220 volt outlet
Hmm.
uh, there, so I can charge at their place. That makes a big difference.
Yeah, yeah, that makes yeah, cool.
Yep.
Well, all right. Well, I think we'll wrap up this year. I mean, we could record next week if we wanted to.
We could. I don't know if I'm going to be around. I need to double check. Because I'm planning on going to Vermont again, my
Hmm.
third trip in as many weeks. Planning on spending New Year's Eve up in the Northeast Kingdom.
Hmm. Oh,
So like just a figurative but almost literal stone's throw from the Canadian border.
yeah. You're gonna visit Canada?
Canada. I don't know that we're going to go to Canada. But you know what? Maybe I'll bring my passport just in case.
There you go.
So,
Because they won't let you. Oh, I know. I remember it. So on Netflix, there's a new series called The Recruit. Have you seen that?
I have not.
So it's the recruit, the main character is a brand new green CIA agent. And it's he's just being like thrown into the fire in every way that you could imagine.
Okay.
It's
Sounds
worth
like fun. Modern
yeah.
day, modern setting.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's modern. I mean, like current day, not even like a couple years ago, like
Okay.
absolute current day.
Okay.
So it's on Netflix. You can watch the pilot if you. I mean, it it was pretty good, I think. So
All right,
Check it out.
I'll put it on the list. The
Yeah.
Recruit on Netflix.
Hmm.
Yeah, I haven't. There hasn't been a lot of stuff that I've been wanting to watch on TV lately, but there definitely have been nights when I'm like, I just want to veg out and not think and just kind of be entertained by something. So
Have
yeah,
you have you ever seen those like silly things with Will Arnett, where I think that's his name. He also does the Lego challenge.
no,
He was also, well, he's been in a number of other things. He's got a deep raspy voice, but he's he's doing Who Killed Santa. That it's another like quick one on Netflix, but it's only like a 30 minute, and it's fun and cheesy. So I'd like to watch that one if you wanted to watch a Christmas movie, because
Christmas.
we haven't watched Die Hard yet for this season.
I think I'm gonna probably go downstairs and see if I can find a Charlie Brown Christmas and the Patrick Stewart A Christmas Carol.
Oh yeah, that's my wife's favorite. So we've already, well, she already watched it. But yeah, that one's a classic. We watch that one every year. Did you watch the Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds on Apple TV?
No, you reminded me though, because I believe Charlie Brown Christmas is on Apple TV now, and I had not gotten around to renewing. I was waiting for the second or third episode season of C to wrap up,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe that's probably happened by now. So I should renew and just binge that. Maybe I'll do that tonight.
Spirited. That's it. It's really good, and
Spirited. Okay.
it's and it's based on A Christmas Carol. I mean
Oh, okay.
The Dickens story, and it's an interesting play. It's always fun when somebody does it and it's unique. So it's kind of a unique play on it. So it's good.
Okay.
I think you'd enjoy it.
Cool. All
And
right.
it's a musical. Some people are like, I'm not ever watching it. It's a musical. I'm like, I don't know who doesn't like musicals. I mean, I don't know.
I often don't like musicals, but lately I've been getting into some, Hamilton was pretty amazing. I like
Oh
that.
yeah.
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 So,
Hamilton was really good. I don't like all musicals,
yeah.
but yeah,
Just
this
because
was
it's a
fun.
musical doesn't make it good, right?
Yeah, or bad.
Right. There you go. So, well, on that note, should you try to hunt around and see if you can find the big red button?
I don't know that I can hit the big red button, but I can do the outro, and I know I can slice off the end of an audio clip. I can do that.
Okay, good.
So, listener, maybe next week we'll have a GPT ending for our show. But today, we do want your feedback. If you'd like to discuss a particular topic, then you can drop us a line at www.blurringthelinespodcast.com. We can be found in YouTube too. We have a channel out there. Um, I need to put that somewhere. But then, if you want to learn more about Peter or me, you can find Peter at Paradigm Consulting Co LLC, paradigmcc.com, yogawithpeter.com, friendswithbrews.com, Mastodon at Nikolaidis at infosec.exchange, or you can find me at Sublime Computer Services, sublimecomp.com, and rrlavenderfarm.com. And you can still find me on the twit at sublimecomp.
On the twit.
On the twit.
Oh, I love it. Oh man, that was great. Well, given that, is it time to push the
The big blue end task.
All right, well, why don't you do that and then I will let you know when it's successful.
All right, so let's see. What's the end task command on Mac? I always have to
So
look it
if you go up to the Apple menu and
up.
choose force quit, that's one way to do it.
Oh yeah, force
Then you
quit.
can find stuff there. The other way I like to do is just drop to a terminal and use the PS command.
Yeah. Force quit.